welcome to 151 Garage. I'm Jill.
I'm Sean.
And today we're talking about the Bronco Sport. In fact, we got brackets to put lights, HUD lights on my Bronco Sport.
What these are the brackets for the ditch lights. And what's unique about these is most of the lights that I see for ditch lights for the Bronco Sport go in.
Yeah.
So what I'm talking about is instead of it going out to move the light further out along your A-pillar, it actually goes in more so it blocks your view. I've seen a couple pictures that way, and I really didn't like the fact that the lights were right in front. I would rather have them out a little bit for a couple reasons. One, it's out of your view. Two, you're not going to have as much reflection on your hood if they're out just a little bit. There is still going to be some, I already know that, but you don't have the light sitting over your hood and reflecting everything off your hood itself. Now hers is kind of unique because she does have a satin finish on her vehicle, so it's not going to reflect as bad as a gloss finish.
Right.
As far as the lights we're putting on it, even though we're going to hook the lights or mount the lights up, we're not going to actually install them wire-wise because we still have to run the wires and figure out where we're going to run it to where it's not going to get in the way of anything and easily accessible. There's really not a good...
There's not a lot of space behind my dash. We already looked.
Well, it's not behind the dash. That's easy.
I mean, like the panel by the steering wheel and all that.
I'm talking inside the engine compartment.
Yeah.
It's tight. It's real tight. So we have to go and dig a little bit and see exactly where we're going to run the lights. I don't want to drill a hole. I would rather go through a item that's already there. But getting to those items or little passways are very difficult.
Yeah,
very difficult. As far as the lights
are cool. So the shirt that I'm wearing is from Woolworth Motorsports, where we got these. So we'll link that in the description below.
Yeah, they were pretty quick at sending these brackets out. So
and they're good quality too.
Yeah, they're thick. They're pretty thick.
They're beefy.
Now, you do have to unbolt your hood or at least loosen it up to actually install it.
These do mount onto the hood mounts.
Yeah, the hood hinges.
Yeah.
And make sure that it doesn't move around too much. Also, to make sure that the alignment is good when you go back to installing and tighten up the bolts to make sure your hood doesn't misalign or anything.
Right.
Now, as far as the lights.
Casey highlights. Kidding.
What else?
We're back for more Casey lights. They are cute. I love them.
Little tiny Casey lights.
Look at that. They're so cute. Don't get the cover off.
So what these are called is the Flex 3. And the reason being will come apparent as soon as she can get the cover off of it. Do you need help?
I need a lot of help here.
Yes, but I can't help you mentally.
It's hard when I don't have any nails. And those suckers are on there tight.
Yeah, they are.
Aren't they cool? These actually come in like a few different colors, like red and blue, I think, as well as the gold. I chose the gold, obviously, for the orange on my Badland.
Yeah. Actually pretty neat. So the Flex 3 is you can see it's got the 3 lights in it. They do have a called Flex 4, which ironically has 4 lights in it.
That's a big square.
We picked these, they're a little bit smaller. As far as the bolt, the mounting bolt is here, and the adjustment to where you can adjust the angle up and down is just 2 bolts on the back side. We'll go through the process of installing these on here. We will not go through the process of wiring it up because, like I said, it's going to take a lot of time to figure out where to run it.
Yeah.
Run it safely, run it where it's not going to get in the way of anything, and run it where it's not going to make water intrusion possible when you go drive through a puddle or drive through something. We want to make sure the wiring goes up high. We also don't want to drill into the back of the firewall because you don't know what's on the other side. The last thing I want to do is drill into, say for instance, a computer module or something else, you know, that's going to create
a lot of
ass pain later. So we're trying to do it safely and a little bit nicer. So these bolts do not have a head on them. There's an Allen head on the bottom to hold it while you tighten up this. So that's something to note when you go to put them in.
They just have 2 style lights on it, right?
The bottom one is a spotlight and the top ones are more of a floodlight. I believe you can get them in different setups, but this setup we kept as a combo pattern. You can get all of them flood or all of them spot. We picked the combo just because that way you have one light and you have a lot more throw far as well as out. Okay, so we'll
so cool.
another thing working on the Bronco Sport that we haven't worked on forever because again there's
not a whole lot out there for it. I mean, we've looked.
Getting this stuff is really hard. So we do have plans on working on it more often as soon as parts come available. It is pretty difficult right now, and we do have some things in works. We're just waiting for the ships to come into port in LA and actually unload their cargo. So, you know, good luck.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go out there and install that.
All right, so we're back outside. I put the...
Go ahead, sorry.
Hi. All right, so we put the tape, it's just regular painter's tape along the edges of the hinges. And the reason why we did this is because we want to make sure that we do align it back to where it was from factory. And this is the best way to do that. Because you will have to take these bolts, at least one of them off, and we have to loosen the other one in order to slide that bracket in. So that's the best way that we found to do that.
So if you look at the bracket, hold up the bracket real quick. You'll see one has a slot and one has a hole. So what you'll do is you'll take off the lower one.
No, you'll
take off the lower one. Because it goes, oh no, you're right.
Yeah.
You'll take off the top one.
Yeah.
And then the lower one, you'll be able
to
hook it in and slide it in this way. That way you don't have to undo both bolts, which is a nice feature. Most other ones I see have holes in both, which means once you take all those bolts out, that hinge will drop down.
And it's a 13 millimeter on there is what you're gonna need. I do recommend 2 people to do this because you're gonna need somebody, especially since we have these on here, it does provide a little bit of resistance. If you don't have these yet, you might be able to do it with 1 person, but I'd recommend 2.
Yeah,
just to get the hood realigned to where it was.
So let me stop you right there. We've already put this one on, and we found out since you put the struts on, it actually pushes the hood up because of the strength of the struts. I had to push the hood down to actually get this to line up, which trying to hold this down and hold it this way to get that to line up was a pain.
Yeah.
So. Be very mindful of the windshield. My advice, keep your hand at the end of the ratchet. That way, if you hit something, it's your hand and not the ratchet onto the glass. Usually not a good combo.
Yeah.
Should be good.
I'll put the thing on. I just need you to hold the hood.
Yeah. So you gotta take out the top one. Put that right here where I know what's gonna be. So what you're gonna have to do.
Yeah, don't hit your windshield, guys.
So put the one with the hole in first. And then twist it underneath. There we go. Now I'll grab this again. Thread it on just a little bit. And now let me show them the hood alignment now. So if you look, let me see if I can get this up there. If you look, the hood alignment is off now. It's off by quite a bit. At least up and down. Side to side is pretty straight on. All I need to do is push the hood down. This will help us align it. Now come over here. That way when I'm ready to align it, there you go. Again, a little bit of pressure down. If these weren't in the way, it'd be different. I'd be holding it up this way, but since this is pushing it all the way up, it's different.
Okay, you want to check it?
Yeah, I'm gonna check it real quick.
He's gonna tighten it because I just don't have the muscles to do that just yet.
I don't want to crank it down too much. It's tight. Now I have seen a lot of people take this off completely, but there's no sense. It's not in the way, at least not on this bracket. On other brackets where they don't slide in, you will. But that's why we like this one, because it had a slot to be able to go in there instead of 2 holes. So
let's go ahead and drop the hood down.
Drop the hood down.
And we'll show you the gaps, and then we'll raise it up again and we'll get all the tape off. Now remember, on these you want to hit it in the middle, because that's where your hood latch is. Everything else is hollow. All right, so some gappage is allowed. This is actually perfect.
Pretty good.
The way it should be. Same on this side. It's perfect. Yes, it's gonna stick up, but that's the way it is. That's normal. And there's a little light. We're gonna go in.
I'm gonna grab the light.
Hang on.
We'll install the light real quick.
There's 2 poles. I love my Redline Tuning hood stretch so much. Shout out to Redline Tuning.
Again.
Yeah, again.
Again. Hey. So for anybody who's working on their car all the time, get these. I'm not being paid to say this, but this right here is a lifesaver. I don't have to worry about the hood. Or the hood prop rod. It's nowhere in my way. I can move from one side to the other. These right here are worth every penny. That's all I gotta say. Well, those will be on every Bronco we have. So what we're gonna do right now is just put these on. Whatever lights you pick, we are not gonna hook these up. We're just gonna kind of run through how we're gonna run the wiring from here underneath the hood. We'll also show you the fitment of how this is when it's closed. Now,
we will wire these later.
Yeah, we'll wire them in a different video. This is not necessarily for the KC lights, because that's going to take a whole different thing. We figured people aren't going to necessarily use this. They're going to use something a little bit different. So we wanted to show you the idea of these brackets and why we pick these brackets over other ones they have available. So the way we're going to run the wiring is up over this and this way. So that way I can actually zip tie it right here out of the way. It will be nice and tight, and this can run down the side. So I think what we're going to have to do is run them this way and zip tie them on the inside, because we want to keep them on the inside away from the windshield. I think that's pretty much the only way you're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is keep this wire in particular like in here, because there's like a shield right here.
Yeah, we can run them down the inside of this.
If we need to, I can take this out, and that way it's one big channel.
Cut this
right
out.
Here.
There's really nothing. No, I don't know why it's even there. We do have a couple clips from the harness that we took off from the other vehicle that we can drill the holes and put those in there. They're just like pushing clips that are actually used for harness, actually. They're like these clips, something like that we can tape them to and actually keep it against everything without taping it or drilling a hole on it or you know, making it look like you know, just make it look kind of shady. I'll go ahead and run it so it's not going to get caught on anything.
It's a very simple install. I'm really happy with it.
And you know, the last thing we got to do is actually loosen these up and tighten them back up when they're actually straight. The reason I added these rather than the other ones actually come in. So if you look at them, they're farther out from the vehicle rather than inside. So every other light other than this one, this bend, instead of going out near the A-pillar, goes in and is right here in your way. And that right there looks like it's pretty much out of her way.
Yeah, I see like that much. I mean, it's probably no more than like that much that I see on this side, and I see the entire thing over here, obviously.
Yeah, well, you're gonna see it over there. So jump out real quick, or show them from your point of view of where it's at.
Then, yeah, here you go. There you go. You're gonna see that one completely, and then that one.
Rather than a light sitting right here.
Right.
That's where the other lights usually sit.
So it kind of gets hidden by the pillar, and I like that. It's clean, and it doesn't obstruct your field of view at all in any way. I'm happy with it. I'm glad we got them.
We can't leave Jill in the car when it's too hot?
Oh, come on. We'll put dog mode on.
Yeah. No, I don't know if you can see, but the only thing, and this is gonna be with every set of brackets you buy, is there is a piece right here, and we'll pop the hood open, that it pushes against, and it's a rubber seal that really doesn't do anything.
It's a cowling seal.
And I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's this seal right here is what it hits against, which isn't a big deal. It actually just pushes it over. But it's not too bad. And how you like a...
How do I like them? I like them. I think they're cool.
So when we get them wired up, we'll do a video on just how the wiring set up and ran through this. This was just the brackets themselves. These brackets are different than the others because they point out. 90% of the other brackets I've seen point in, which puts that light right in your field of view, where this one doesn't. Obviously, the one on the passenger side is going to be in it, unless you have it way far out there. I was more worried about the one sitting in the driver's view, or in the driver's side view. It's pretty simple. You just make sure everything's lined up.
Very easy installment. It took like what, no more than 5 minutes?
Yeah, pretty much.
And I definitely would recommend getting these little brackets to have the lights out of your field of view rather than in.
Put them all, the brackets themselves take maybe 10 minutes total. Hooking up the lights to the brackets, no problem. Hooking up the lights to the car,
that's going to take a little bit longer. But I mean, as far as the installation of the actual hardware and the lights themselves, there's probably no more than 10 minutes per side of that.
Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you like the Bronco Sport, you know, leave a comment down below. Also, what other mods you think we should do to this?
Yeah, I'm open for ideas. I do need some ideas. So,
anyways,
yeah, just drop me a line.
Let's see how it looks so far. Since it's been a very long time since you guys have seen the whole thing. You got junk in the trunk again.